Hello everyone, welcome to the Big Bang course. I am Skeeter, your host. Today, we're going to introduce the mole concept and related calculations to you. So, let's begin with what's mole. A mole is just a measure of the amount of substance. A mole is like a dozen. As we know that a dozen is 12 things, a mole is like a dozen but way bigger than that. In a mole, there's 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 things. Now, here's a reminder for a lot of you. A mole is not an abbreviation for molecule, so don't confuse yourself. A mole contains 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 particles. And this number, 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23, is often referred to Avogadro constant or Avogadro number. It is first named after Lorenzo Romano Avogadro, a scientist back in the 19th century, who one day discovered that if you have equal volume of gases at the same pressure and temperature, they actually have the same amount of particles, and this amount is 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23. But if you think about it, it's a gigantic number. Let's take donuts for example. A mole of donuts, which is 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 of donuts, can cover the entire Earth by the depth of 18 kilometers, which is huge. But in physics or chemistry, we are talking about something that is much smaller. We're talking about molecules or items. The mass of a mole of items is much smaller than that of donuts. For example, a mole of hydrogen atoms is about 1 gram in mass, and a mole of water molecules is about 18.02 grams in mass. And this mass is called their molar mass. Molar mass is namely the mass of one molecule, the mass of one mole of a substance. Also, the sum of the atomic masses of the atoms making up the molecule. Take water as an example. 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom make up a water molecule. So the molar mass of water is the sum of atomic mass of 2 hydrogen atoms, which is 2, and 1 oxygen atom, which is 16, which is in total approximately 18. And the mass of the substance can be calculated by the moles of the substance times its molar mass. In this case, mass of 1 mole of the water is calculated to be 18 grams. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning, as we say that a mole is a quantity of substance that contains a number of particles equals to the Avogadro constant, 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 particles. The mass of one atom in 1 mole of substance can therefore be calculated by moles divided by the Avogadro constant. Note that when calculating the mass of one atom in 1 mole of substance, it has nothing to do with the molar mass or atomic mass of that substance, since in every mole there's 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 particles. Now, let's move on to do some calculations to practice. This question is asking us to estimate the number of items of gold in 1 kilograms of gold. The question is asking for number of items which can be calculated by moles times Avogadro constant. And to get the moles of the gold, we need to first divide mass of gold, which is 1000 grams, by its molar mass of 197. The final answer is estimately 3 times 10 to the power of 24. Just remember to unify the units when calculating. The unit for moles are moles. For molar mass is gram per mole. And for mass is gram. Now, we can also use symbols for each terminology to simplify our calculations, which are listed above. Lastly, let's do some revision. So in this video, we learned about the following concepts. 1 mole of a substance is the quantity of the substance that contains a number of particles equal to the Avogadro constant, and whose mass in grams is equal to the molar mass of the substance. Avogadro is the number of items in exactly 1.2 grams of carbon-12, which is 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23. Molar mass can be defined as mass of 1 mole of the substance. A mass of a substance can be calculated by moles times molar mass. Mass of an item can be calculated by moles divided by Avogadro constant. A number of items equals moles times Avogadro constant. So, that's basically the content we have covered in this lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and if you find it useful, please subscribe our channel. See you soon!